Okay, today we're going to talk about segments and congruence and distances and measuring. Okay, the ruler postulate is exactly what it says. We're going to use a ruler to measure things. And in geometry, the name of the postulate is really usually what it is. So it's very self-explanatory. If we were to use a ruler to measure the length from A to B, from this point A to this point B, we could use a ruler. And if we were to put our ruler down on that and measure from A to B, whatever the length it says it is, that's what it is. That is the ruler postulate. I'm not going to use one, but say it said 1.5 inches. That is the ruler postulate. Easy business. Okay, segment addition postulate is next. It is what it says. It says segment addition. We are going to add segments. Okay, segment AB plus segment BC has to equal all the way across segment AC. Okay, the postulates in geometry are very self-explanatory. Okay, segment addition postulates, you will be adding segments. In the last lesson, we talked about how to denote lines where you have two letters and you have to put a line with two arrows above it to denote that it's a line, or a ray that you would have just one arrow at the end, or a segment with just had a bar over it. And that was very important because now when we talk about find RT, that means the distance of, the length of. So if it has no kind of notation over the top of it, that means the length of it. So we're going to apply the segment addition postulate now to find the length of RT. So when we do that, we're talking about segment addition. Segment RS plus segment ST has to equal the larger segment RT. Okay, so we know that RS is 4. We know that ST is 7, and so we get a total of 11. So when we find RT is just the length of 11, segment addition postulate. Okay, the same thing here on this next one. It gives you the total length, and then it gives you one of the segments. Okay, so if the whole entire long segment of AC is 40, and we know AB is 10, then 10 plus what is going to give us 40? So you can subtract that if you want to, and 40 minus 10 gives you 30. Okay, we can check it. AB is 10 plus BC we said was 30. Does that equal 40? Yes, it does. That's all good. So BC then must be 30. That's a segment addition postulate. Very simple. The last thing we'll look at on here is when you have a long segment and it's broken up into several other segments and they give you some information and then they ask you to find all of the rest of the segments. Okay, if they give you that this whole segment is A to E, okay, we know that that whole thing is 52. All right, if we know that C to E is 20, let's put in everything that we know. All right, and it tells you that BC, CD, and DE all must be congruent. Okay, when we put all of that in, can we find some other things that they ask us for? Well, let's see. All right, let's see. We know that BC is going to equal CD, which equals DE. So if all of those things are equal, and from C to E is 20, and that's with those two pieces are equal, then we know that this must be 10 from C to D, and from D to E must be 10 also. That means that BC must also be 10 because it tells us right here that all of those things are equal. Now that we have all of those pieces in place, let's do segment addition. Okay, the first thing it asks for is to find BC. Well, from B to C right here is 10. Okay, now it wants to know what AB is. All right, well, let's think about that. From A to B, do we know how far it is from B to E, this distance right here? Well, yes, we know that that whole distance is 30. If the distance from B to E is 30 and the distance from A to E is 52, then that leaves the distance from A to B right here has to be 30 plus some number equaling 52. So 52 minus 30 then has to be 22. The distance from A to C. Okay, if we know from A to B is 22 and B to C is 10, then again we're going to do segment addition postulate, and we'll have 22 plus 10 is 32. B to E. Okay, we know each one of those segments is 10 units, and so again we're going to use segment addition. BC plus CD plus DE. We'll add all those together. 10 plus 10 plus 10. That has to equal 30. Now A to D. Okay, A to D. So we have segment AB plus BC plus CD. So we have 22 plus 10 plus 10 is 42. Now B to D, BD, segment BD. So we're going to start at B. We're going to finish at D. And each of those segments is 10. So we'll do segment addition. 10 plus 10 is 20. Okay, so segment addition is very simple. It is just simply adding the length of the segments together.